Greetings everyone, my name is Zetterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered 5 viewer-submitted levels, so in this part, I'll be covering the remaining bonus levels of the Mega Man Creation Collab project. First up is Return to the City Epilogue stage, with 19 plays and a score of 5. As with most other episodes, the timestamps for all the levels I cover will be in the description below. I'm not sure who the level designer of this stage was, but I presume it's the same as the original intro stage, that being Dustman Talks Trash. Let me know in the comment section below. And from what I understand, all of these epilogue stages are essentially hard mode versions of the original levels. In this case, a hard mode version of the intro stage. Not only that, but we start with all the special weapons and utilities already unlocked, and we are forced to use them in several locations. Most of the level layout looks about the same, and the main differences I see are the increased number of enemies. For instance, that previous section only had 1 Picketman, but now it has 2 Picketmen, as well as a Jari spawner to the left. Now this section has Cotton Bions dropping bombs from above. Time to face off against the boss. Hard Man instead of Stone Man, and he has a bunch of Cotton Bions from above. Do you even have a weakness? It's probably the super adapter. Nevertheless, that was the intro stage. Slightly harder, and the main point of difficulty increase was this boss battle, with the small arena and all those bomb flies. Let's see how different the other stages will be. Next up is Return to Battery Man. Already you can see a difference. We start immediately with a spike pit that's uncrossable unless you use a super adapter, NATO, rush coil, or rush jet. During the last episode where I covered levels from this collaboration, I neglected to elucidate on what I meant by level quality consistency. What I mean by that is that we have levels like Crater Man, Moss Man, and Sewer Man, which are on the better side, and then we have levels like Miner Man and Hangar Man, which are just there. What's essentially happening here is that we have different level designers with different amounts of expertise, so some levels are built better than others. Adding to this problem is that some gimmicks aren't explored enough, plus for some levels like Hangar Man and Engine Man, the gimmicks aren't that memorable. This is where having the ability to add custom gimmicks would be really helpful, but of course you don't have that ability in Mega Man Maker. The same kind of holds true with Hologram Man's level, as that felt a bit lackluster in comparison to the build-up of collecting all the 4 Yoshikis. I was expecting its gimmicks to be taken further. I like the baseline ideas of this collaboration, but I feel that it needs some more refinement and playtesting before I can say it's almost good to good. If all the levels had the same quality as Crater Man and Moss Man, I say that this entire project would be good. Not necessarily all of the levels, but at least most of them. I will credit that all the Roadmaster and Fusion Master stages felt like traditional levels. They all had an introduction to gimmicks and enemies in relatively safe environments and gradually escalated over the period of the level. It's just that some levels performed better at that and provided more interesting situations with all the gimmicks and enemies. I won't comment too much on the boss battles as most of them are kind of constrained by the engine, but I will comment on the final fortress bosses being a bit too easy. Perhaps the final manor encounter could include more enemies that are firing at you, and for the final Wily boss, the climb upwards could be doubled or tripled in length, as right now it was rather short. The last big thing I'll give credit to for this collaboration is that it has its own weapon get system and weakness order affiliations. Those were smart ideas to implement to make this set of levels feel more like a fan game. Usually the stage would have ended up over there, but now it continues onwards. So some of these stages have been extended, and this stage had much more significant changes to the general level layout. There is the actual exit of the level. The level was extended by about 4 to 6 screens, but it was a noticeable addition. In general, the stage was a few steps up in difficulty. I never figured out what your weakness was, so let's try it. It's the Flash Stopper. So I'd love to see hard mode variations of every one of the stages I played in this fan game of sorts. After all, these feel more fun than their normal versions. Next up is Return to Traffic Man. The loading time was longer than what I remember it to be, so I wonder how much this stage was extended by. This is entirely new. We're now accessing the sewer part of the city. And now we're going to the city at morning, instead of at evening like in the original stage. That was my fault. I should have waited there. This time I'll be more patient. And yes, I jump cutted past 3 deaths off screen. 2 of them were due to engine issues, aka drop my inputs, leading me to fall into a pit or get hit by red force beams. The other one was my fault. They weren't kidding with this stage being a hard mode version. That's probably why I got a negative score. It is more interesting compared to the original level though. The most annoying enemies to deal with here are the Baconers and the tire enemies. But hey, if you're having problems with this level, you can always use special weapons to make it easier. This screen worked in reverse in the original level. And this screen used to be the final screen of the original level, but that may have changed here. Gonna wait one more cycle just to be safe. One more cycle. I forgot I ran out of flash stopper energy. Only took 7 points of damage here. Here's a checkpoint, thank goodness. The stage still goes on. At this point the stage would have ended originally. Also of note is that the time of day has transitioned over to being midday. Oh goody, this trap now. No flash stopper energy either. Well, I do actually. Can I use the NATO crossover? I need to be quick though. I can. That was a close one. One of those other stages where I really wish I had access to M-Tanks or E-Tanks, or both. Not taking any chances with that jump. I already been messed up by the engine a few times. But we're at the end. Gosh, that was a brutal difficulty spike in comparison with the original level, and this had very significant changes to the level design and enemy placement. It reminds me of Mega Man Rock Force's hard mode. We also have force beams to worry about in this battle too. I forget what your weakness was. It was probably the NATO. Well, I'm gonna take a death there. In comparison with Battery Man, whose difficulty increase wasn't that much, this one was significant. That's the end of Traffic Man Hard Mode. You may want to tone down the difficulty for this one, as compared to Battery Man Hard Mode, this felt like very hard mode. I'll still give it a thumbs up, though I strongly suggest that you play through the normal mode version of this stage first before doing this one, otherwise you're in for a nasty surprise. Last but not least is Return to Hangar Man Epilogue level. I'm a bit worried how difficult this level is going to be, considering that the original stage had an abundance of bottomless pits, not to mention shield attackers and other air-based enemies. But hey, these epilogue levels alleviates one of my main concerns of this level pack, that being the levels being too easy and the gimmick usage being not that interesting. Oh sure, you are forced to use special weapons in 3 of these 4 epilogue levels, but I don't mind that too much. In addition to the level design and enemy placements being changed, the levels have been generally extended. That was especially the case with Traffic Man's level, with an entirely new section. The same held true with Battery Man, but that section felt shorter. And there's the end of the level. Oh, not yet. This section has been extended a bit. I should have played more cautiously. I was running low on health anyway, so it isn't too bad. Let's try going through this section normally this time, instead of skipping all these challenges. Time for the Rush Jet segment, which didn't exist originally. I'm running a bit low, so hopefully I have enough. Oh, that was short. Why did we even have this section then? Certainly a step up in difficulty, but not as much as Traffic Man. This felt like an appropriately difficult hard mode version of the original level. A much smaller arena too. His weakness was the plant barrier. If I had to do this boss fight normally without his weakness, this would have been a problem. More so of a problem compared to Napalm Man. Out of the 4 bonus levels I played in this episode, my favorite level would have to be a tie between Battery Man and Traffic Man. Well, Battery Man would be my honorable mention, and Traffic Man would be my favorite one. Even though I died a lot of times in this level, I quite enjoyed the challenge. I really wish there were hard mode versions of every level, as that would fix one of my main complaints about this entire collaboration being a bit too easy, and the gimmick usage being not that interesting. A special thanks goes to NX Tech for creating this wonderful musical pack, as this pack, which I've used throughout all the levels of this collaboration, enhanced all the stages. Without it, all these stages would feel less unique, but by using this, it even improved the quality of my least favorite stages. So in the next part, I'll be covering several more Virus Made levels. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Toodles!